Hi, I'm Bill Cashell. I'm here with Diane Rawls at A+ Hypnosis Wellness Center, and we're here to dispel some myths or questions about hypnosis. So, how about it, Diane? You ready to answer some questions?
Oh, I think so, Bill.
Okay, so I have a few questions here that I've gotten from people who want to know about hypnosis, and I have to admit I'm curious about some of these as well. So, here's the first question I have for you. I've heard that not very many people can be hypnotized, only a small number of people. What do you think about that? Is that true?
You know, we have people that come in all the time that say, well, I don't know if I can be. The truth of the matter is, people are in hypnosis in and out all day long. Okay? Anytime you're in a focused situation where you're totally relaxed, it's like when you're driving your car. Most of the time, you don't drive your car, your subconscious mind drives your car. And at the same time, you're thinking about what you're going to do when you get to work, or what you're going to do when you get home, or when do you need to pick the kids up, or whatever. But your mind can do both things at one time, and that's hypnosis, because you're focused on what you're going to do later while your subconscious mind does something else.
Ah, okay. Well, that's a great one. Now, here's another question that I've heard a lot of people ask. Sometimes when we see people in hypnosis, especially like a stage show, I notice they're kind of slumped down with their eyes closed, and it looks like they're asleep. Are they really asleep? Do they know what's going on?
When you're in hypnosis, you absolutely know everything that's going on. You hear everything. If an alarm went off or something, you'd be just wide awake and move out. It's not sleep. What people's misconception is there is they see people totally relaxed. When was the last time you totally relaxed, Bill?
Ah, that's true. I guess probably the last football game I watched on the couch.
There you go, and that's true. And did you know that if you're dozing off while you're listening to a football game, you're actually retaining more of that football game than I would if I was sitting there watching it with you? Because when I'm watching it, I'm also trying to replay the plays, trying to second guess someone, trying to use all of my energy to help that football team. But what you're doing in a relaxed state is right into your subconscious mind. Everything that announcer says is going right in there. So you can replay the game quicker and easier than I can because I second guessed it, and my perception of what happened on that screen may not be what really happened.
Oh, that's pretty interesting. Okay, now here's a common one, and we see this sometimes on television. If I were under hypnosis, would I tell you some deep, dark secrets or do or say something that I wouldn't normally do?
No, there's a part of your brain that keeps you safe. And in hypnosis, that part of your brain isn't going to say, oh, go ahead and reveal anything. You will never say or do anything that you don't want to say or don't want to do under hypnosis. You can actually lie under hypnosis.
Oh.
But the thing is that if you're coming to the Wellness Center, you're there to change something in you. You're there because you've set a goal, you want to achieve this goal. So lying about something wouldn't help you. It wouldn't serve your purpose.
Okay, so these ones where they, woo, here you go now, go kill the general. That doesn't really happen, huh?
Absolutely not. In fact, if it did, the government would own it and we couldn't use it. You know that. I mean, The truth of the matter is you're never going to do anything or say anything that you don't want to. And when you go through hypnosis in sessions and things like that, you don't come out a changed person. The only thing you're going to change is something in your subconscious, like a negative tape, like something that's going on in there that you don't want anymore. Then you can eliminate that, but it has nothing to do with changing your whole personality.
I'll never look at TV the same. Okay, how about some of these stage shows I see? Now, sometimes they'll have like 20 people come up on stage, and by the time they're through, they only end up with half the people up there. Are these people not able to be hypnotized?
What happens is when you walk into a stage show, he hypnotizes the entire crowd to begin with. In other words, he tells the whole crowd, let's all relax, let's all join in with this. So everybody's in a relaxed state. And all of us are people pleasers. All of us want to please someone. And then when he says, I'd like volunteers to come up here, he never forces anyone. He just wants volunteers. They all sit in a row, and then he'll just keep deepening the hypnosis and having everybody relax even more. And then if he goes to the person next to you and says, you can leave the stage now, what he's actually telling that person is you're not good enough. So the person sitting next to him is going to go, oh my goodness, I need to be better. I need to pay more attention. I need to do whatever he wants me to do, so I'll be the one picked to be staying on the stage because I want to be good enough. And he'll do that consecutively over and over and over again until the people finally left on the stage, and it doesn't matter which ones they are, they're totally compliant.
Okay, so that's a lot different than a session, for example, to stop smoking or lose weight or something like that, right?
Absolutely. In the first place, no alcohol is involved here, and usually alcohol is involved in a stage show, reducing your inhibitions to begin with. And 9 times out of 10, the people that volunteer will be like the class clowns that you knew in school, where they like this kind of attention. Now, the people that don't like a lot of attention, they would never volunteer.
Aha, that's true. Right. Okay. How about this now? And I've always thought it interesting how the hypnotist will snap their fingers and they open their eyes and snap again, they go back. Can somebody get stuck in hypnosis? I think people worry about that.
No, there's no way that you could get stuck in it because, like I say, you're in and out of it all the time. It's just a normal, relaxed feeling. Okay, now when you snap your fingers, if you're focused on that snap and you're listening for it, then you know this is when I open my eyes, this is when I close my eyes. That's all. It really doesn't have anything to do with anything else. You're just following instructions.
Okay. How about this? Again, they get people in stage shows to do some funny things. Can you get someone to do something they wouldn't normally do or say something they wouldn't normally say?
Absolutely not. If it goes against your morals or it goes against your beliefs, your subconscious mind is not going to let you participate in it. No matter what it is, it doesn't matter. It's like we have a lot of these misconceptions from TV shows and things like that where they can tell you to go and do something. If you think that the government would let us practice something where you could say go out and rob all the banks and bring the money back to me, that would seem ludicrous to you. So your subconscious mind would say, no way, I'm not even participating, and you get up and you leave.
Okay. One last question. That has to do, I think, with the number of sessions. And I know, of course, when traditional therapy happens, you never know how many sessions, but it seems like it goes on forever. I know that for some things, such as stop smoking, probably only takes 1 or 2 sessions. Why is it other things may take more sessions than that?
All right. Smoking is something you do because you want to do it, and when you decide you don't want to do it, we can just go in and help your subconscious mind understand that the reasons you started smoking in the first place are no longer valid. Like if you were a child, you were 15, 16 years old, decided to start smoking because your buddies were. Okay, that was peer pressure for one thing. It was you wanted to be grown up for another thing, and it was acceptable. Now, Bill, you're already grown up. You don't need to worry about peer pressure anymore. It's like it's not acceptable anymore. You can't go anywhere and smoke cigarettes. You're looked down on, frowned on, it's just not a part of society anymore that's acceptable. And as soon as your subconscious mind understands that, plus the expense is horrendous with it, then it wasn't when you started, so it's easy for you to let go then. But now, something like weight. Okay, weight takes more sessions because you have to eat.
Yeah.
The reasons that you started gaining weight are, there could be a million of them. Okay? Everyone is different. Everyone that comes into our center, we handle that as one unique person because their perception of what went on in their life is what's driving them now. And the main thing is, if you were, say, 5 years old and you fell down, you scraped your knee, and you went in the house and you were crying, and Mom says, sit down, I'll give you a cookie, it'll make you feel better. Then every time you go through anything in your life, you think sweets are going to make you feel better. Now that's really not true. But at that age, your mom was the authority. She said it, you felt it. It's just like when people get a cold and they're little and their mom says you got to go to the doctor if you're sick. Now that you're an adult, most people can get well just sitting in the doctor's waiting room, waiting to see the doctor. They don't have to do, she never said the doctor was going to do anything. You just had to show up and you feel better.
Uh-huh.
So it takes more sessions because you have to go in and you have to find out where it started. Then you have to go through and you have to figure out what your perception of it was. You have to let go of your perceptions. And there may be people in your life that you have to forgive for doing whatever they did in your life. Because like weight could be something protective that you're holding on to for some reason from the past. There's a lot of things that have to be done in different sessions then.
So it sounds like every individual might be quite different.
I have never, in all of my time doing this, had a session that was identical to another. Never. Because no human being is identical to anyone else. If you have a family of 5 children, each one of those children is going to perceive that family being totally different by the way they are treated in the family. Now, as adults, we all hope and wish that we had treated our children equally, but the children didn't see it that way. Because if you have older siblings, those siblings are treating you in a different way. The parents are treating you in a different way. In fact, your first child is your like experimental child. You watch them and you're very careful with them, and every time they ooh and ah, oh, it's just wonderful. By the time you get to the 3rd or 4th, it's like, are you kidding? That child, the first one survived, the second one, third one, fourth one are going to survive too. Plus, those younger ones are learning so much more from the older children. Not necessarily from the adults, but definitely from the older children.
Okay, well that's really interesting. And I hope this has been interesting for all of you that are watching. And we'll be back again with more. So if you have some questions, you could go ahead and email those. Is that Diane@aplushypnosis.com? That'd be correct?
You can, or you can also email me at aplushypnosis.com. Or aplushypnosis@AOL. Any of those will work.
All right, or just go to the website and you'll find a place there. And look forward to seeing you next time.